We have a great honor to interview two guys from band Soilwork.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
So you just arrived here in Tampere. How are your first impressions of this city?
We've been here quite a few times, but it's never been this sunny.
No, well, yeah. I mean, it's sunny now, but when we arrived, it didn't look too. Or were you sleeping? Or no? Yeah.
So you are still touring to support your latest album, the Ride Majestic. So how has the tour been?
It's been really good, I would say. We pretty recently came back from a 7-week-long North American tour that we did together with Fear Factory. It was really good. And then we had 3 weeks off, and the festival season just started. You know, we've done Copenhagen, and we did Sweden Rock, and today we're here in Tampere.
So on this tour, what has been your favorite venue? Latest tour.
Well, I mean, we only have 2 shows before this one, so it's I would I don't know.
Let's take the US tour also.
Yeah, let's include the US tour as well. We had 2 sold out shows in New York. That was pretty special. That was very cool. And there were a few surprises as well. We played Arkansas for the first time, and it was actually really good. Really cool city too. Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Soilwork basically plays melodic death metal, known also as Gothenburg metal. What do you think is the first band that has made the entire genre?
The Gothenburg scene was really big back then, and one of the originators was probably In Flames, I would say, and there was Dark Tranquility as well, and we're coming from a little bit south. That's where it all started in Helsingborg, which is 3 hours south. So I mean, as much as we had influences from that scene, we were not really a part of the scene in a way. But from the start, we had our mindset on creating something pretty unique and not just draw too much influence from that scene, in Gothenburg.
Gothenburg metal usually has a cleaner singing. You still have some, not necessarily the growling, but you have a little bit coarser vocals. Is it made it so that you distinctively a little bit differ from some other bands?
I think we were definitely part of developing that, and I think we were one of the originators as far as mixing screamy vocals with clean vocals. I mean, back in mid-90s, late 90s, the Gothenburg bands coming out at that time didn't really have clean singing. It was mostly screamy vocals. I think that's where we kind of stood out a little bit.
Yeah. Finland is also quite known for its metal bands. Can you name any of your favorite Finnish metal bands?
Reverend Bizarre.
Let's see. Rotten Sound. That's a good band.
Yeah. The Soilwork was first called Inferior Breed.
Yeah, correct.
So why did you change the name to Soilwork, which is, I think, the better known name, but still, why the name change?
I don't know. It just felt very generic death metal. So we wanted to find a better name, a better fit. And at the time we were listening a lot to Carcass Heartwork, and we just liked how that looked, and kind of took work, and then we found Soil and we put it together, and it just felt right, and kind of working from the ground up, kind of.
Many people also say that Soilwork has quite a distinctive sound that is recognizable, but still I think at least that your records have evolved from record to record. So what do you think about that?
As long as he's on them, it sounds like Soilwork.
Well,
you do have quite distinctive vocals, but at the same time,
there's got to be something
we're
else
all
too.
evolving.
I mean, yeah, but that's interesting actually. That's a good point. But I always think that we managed to stay true to our roots. But yeah, we definitely developed our sound, and so it's been really good for us. People might see it as a bad thing. You had a lot of lineup changes, blah blah blah. But it's not a matter of copying the playing. It's a matter of bringing something new that will, you know, for example, in my case, like being a singer and then having, for example, David coming into the band. In the beginning, it was like, you know, he threw me some new stuff, and he was like, "Wow, what is this? This is I'm not used to this," but it's like it made me develop as a singer, you know. And so I think you need that challenge, you know, in order to develop your sound.
And if you try to just, especially when writing songs, I mean, trying to copy, like me replacing Peter, who was a huge part of developing the band from the beginning. If I tried to copy his songwriting style, I mean, that's bound to fail. Because no matter what, I mean, if you try to just do the same thing, it wouldn't have succeeded. I mean, you need to try and do something new.
So your latest album, the Ride Majestic, is a little bit darker and like stronger album than your previous ones. So I reckon it was because you had some difficult times.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely affected our performances on the album. I think it would have turned out pretty dark regardless, you know, but it definitely put a spin on the whole thing, you know, and it became a big comfort, you know, being in the studio, and we were all there together, and so it feels, you know, it feels very real, the album, and it has a dark atmosphere over it, but you know, we're definitely not talking about some kind of goth rock. It's very intense, you know. It's very dynamic and very diverse, and it's you know, it's still fun. As dark as it is, it's still like it's fun listening to it, you know. I remember because I laid down the vocals. I think I started like late April, beginning of May, and we already entered the studio in late January. So everything was pretty much done, and we went through all the, you know, rough stuff in the studio, and I don't know. It was a very special recording because I recorded all the vocals on my own. I produced them myself, and that was. I don't know. It was just a special moment right there, you know, and it definitely affected me, like with the vocals and you know, with the lyrics. And now I guess it feels more like a celebration. You know, it's as much as the lyrics are, you know, very serious. It's still I think, you know, when Soilwork enters the stage, it's still a celebration, no matter how dark it is, you know.
Have you already booked the studio for the next Soilwork album?
Definitely not. No, that might take a while. We still have some touring left to do for this album, and I don't know. Maybe we'll slowly get into songwriting mode. Maybe in the fall sometime. Who knows? We'll see.
But you are going to release a new album in the 2017. Is it right?
Where did you hear that?
I didn't hear it anything. It was just
maybe
like
very late 2015. Yeah,
A Christmas album.
a Christmas. Yeah, sorry, you gave it away. Yeah.
Christmas carols from Soilwork.
Yeah.
So you tour a lot, all around the world. So where do you think your main audiences come from?
Finland.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them.
No, seriously,
no
Finland is always like a great place to play, and
yeah, we can always count on Finland,
Yeah.
and Finland can always count on us as well.
Okay, let's have a last question then. And this might be a hard one or like an easy one. So if you have a like black-haired, skinny, pimple-faced heavy metal teen who doesn't know anything about you, the Soilwork, so which song in particular in your entire repertoire like describes your music the best?
Oh, that's a good question.
This wasn't easy. This was hard one.
It might be too predictable, you know, but you always talk about the latest album, but I mean, I think there's definitely songs on that album that sums up, you know, everything we stand for, lyrically and musically. So I don't know.
The Ride Majestic, the title track.
Sure. Yeah.
And if,
Okay. The title
I guess
track.
I guess out of the old ones, I guess Bastard Chain.
Yeah.
That's a good mix of Svedo, Pelle metal and classic rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for the interview and have a nice gig
Thank you.
tonight
Thanks for
and
having us.
also later on this tour.
Thank you.